Hi, my name is Samuel James Price, and every single day I do a show called The Crypto Lifer Show. I'm the Crypto Lifer, and everyone comes through. We are the lifers. Together, we make the best show on the internet, really. I mean, as far as I'm concerned. We keep it positive, we keep it moving, and we give you new information that's happening every single day that's moving the cryptocurrency space, the finance world, and just Web3 in general. Crypto exchange Gemini to expand Asia-Pacific operations to capture next wave of growth. The company plans to open an emerging center in India and increase headcount in Singapore to over 100. Smart move. Gemini plans to expand to Asia-Pacific, a region it sees as driving the next wave growth for crypto, and they can see it. When we're stifling growth here in America, the growth has to go somewhere else, especially when an innovative technology that can help you achieve your dreams. That's what we're seeing, and they know, so they're starting to expand to other parts of the world. Coinbase, another crypto exchange, also said recently it will open a derivative exchange in Bermuda as part of its expansion outside of the U.S. So you're seeing crypto companies starting to leave the U.S., starting to go other places for their growth. International entrepreneurs are going to find money in the international market. They're not going to wait around. America's been kind of at the key top of all that. And to see us kind of waver and not be that strong because of the regulations and all the stuff going on, pretty sad. Pretty sad. Shame on the politicians and the bureaucrats in Washington. Bitcoin is becoming illiquid at $147K a month in a signal of steady accumulation. The market appears to be in a period of quiet accumulation, which suggests an undercurrent of demand. That's what's going to happen. People don't realize, too, as Bitcoin starts to get the halving and things coming up, people are going to keep buying it up. And there's going to be no Bitcoin left. Bitcoin is flowing into wallets controlled by illiquid entities or network participants with little to no spending history at the fast rate in 6 months, indicating a bias for accumulation from long-term investors. Glassnode, a liquid supply change metric, which measures the number of coins held by illiquid wallets. And liquid means just not moving, not doing much, right? On a specific date compared with the same date previous month, rose to 147,000 Bitcoin on Monday, the most since December 19th. The total held by illiquid entities had jumped to a record high of 15 million Bitcoin, with the tally increasing by 215,000 in the past 4 weeks alone. The data shows investors remain confident of Bitcoin's price prospects despite continued macroeconomic uncertainty and heightened regulatory risks. Last week, the U.S. Federal Reserve kept interest rates unchanged, pausing a 15-month rate hike cycle. The bank, however, ruled out rate cuts this year while keeping the doors open for more increases if required. The so-called tightening was partly responsible for last year's crypto market swoon. Earlier this month, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission filed lawsuits against prominent digital assets exchanges Coinbase and Binance, accusing them of offering a number of alternative cryptocurrencies as unregistered securities. The lawsuit did not mention Bitcoin, triggering the rotation of money out of altcoins and into the leading cryptocurrency by market value. I've already been holding the majority of my crypto holdings in Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. I go after Bitcoin whenever I see it. I gobble it up on the lows. I use the Fear and Greed Index to take a look at what's happening, and that really kind of, changes the way I look at the markets. Let's take a look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index as we bring that to you for the news too as well. Sitting at about a 49 in even Steven regions. I like this to come lower into the shaded region. That's where I like to buy up my cryptocurrency. But again, you do whatever makes you happy. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Last but not least, Binance boosts Bitcoin Lightning Network with promised integration. That's a big deal. Cryptocurrency exchange Binance is working to integrate the Bitcoin Lightning Network to make deposits and withdrawals easier and faster. The exchange said the keen observers have recently noticed the presence of new Lightning nodes. Yes, that's us. However, there's still more tech work to be done. We'll update once Lightning is fully integrated, Binance said in a tweet on Tuesday, without elaborate furthering on a potential timeline for completion. But they're working to integrate Bitcoin Lightning Network. If you don't think Bitcoin's going to continue to innovate with the BRC20 tokens, with NFTs, with the fact that you can now inscribe, more basically inscriptions, and you can basically get more than 4 megabits per block. So that means you can actually put a video game or something else on the Bitcoin blockchain. So the Bitcoin network has struggled with processing a large number of transactions, currently managing just 7 to 10 transactions per second. The limitation has long been known as drawback of the Bitcoin network, and is why projects like the Lightning Network, which can speed up transactions without impacting the main network, have gained popularity. Exchanges like Bitfinex, Kraken, River Financial, and OKX have already integrated the Lightning Network into their platforms. Kraken claims that the Lightning Network can handle millions of transactions per second, surpassing Visa's processing capability of around 65,000. Twitter also has a feature for users in El Salvador and the U.S., excluding Hawaii and New York, to tip with Bitcoin using the Lightning Network. Isn't that pretty crazy that you can tip with Bitcoin using the Lightning Network on Twitter? The Lightning Network capacity has been steady uptrend, even as the price of Bitcoin has fallen over the past 18 months and currently stands around 5,400 Bitcoin from the Glass node. This is a big deal. The fact that Bitcoin's going to continue to innovate. Once the Lightning Network gets implemented everywhere, you saw that, faster than Visa. And they call Bitcoin old dinosaur technology. I laugh at that every time people bring that up to me. Everyone, as you can see here, this is really boosting Bitcoin. And you can see that the bigger wallets are grabbing up Bitcoin. The Lightning Network coming out. This is exciting. It's actually a pretty big day for Bitcoin on the low. While no one's paying attention, big things are happening under the nose of big regulators and most people. They're not realizing how big Bitcoin is going to get. I'm telling you right now, it's so innovative, people still don't see how big it really is going to be. You know, they just can't grasp. Because something that big that's going to change the world the way it is hard to understand at first. People just have a hard time figuring that out, you know? And that, my friends, is the news. Thank you so much for these 3 awesome news topics. Come back every single day for the news that'll keep you privy to the information.